There's something magical about The Parent Trap that just sticks with you, even decades later. It's more than just a story about twins and their switcheroo. It's about family, love, and the bonds that can't be broken no matter how many miles or years come between you. For so many of us, this movie was an introduction to the power of a really good family story. And right at the heart of it all is the unforgettable cast who made these characters come to life. Let's start with Lindsay Lohan, who played both Hallie Parker and Annie James. Picture this. It's 1998, and a 12-year-old Lindsay is taking on not one, but two lead roles in what would become one of the biggest family movies of the decade. She was playing twins separated at birth, each growing up in totally different worlds with completely different personalities. Hallie is the ultimate California girl, laid back, a little mischievous, and with a witty, bold attitude that's so much fun to watch. Annie, on the other hand, is prim, proper, and all British elegance. She's a little more reserved with that careful, thoughtful demeanor you'd expect from a kid raised in London. What's so impressive is that Lindsay brought so much life to both characters that you can instantly tell who's who, even without thinking about it. Lindsay's dual performance became legendary and made her an instant star. After The Parent Trap, her career skyrocketed, and she became one of the defining faces of early 2000s pop culture. Think about Freaky Friday, Mean Girls, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. These movies defined a generation. Her talent for comedy and drama, even as a kid, was undeniable. And yes, her journey hasn't been without challenges, but she's made a return to acting in recent years. Now she's diving back into the industry with projects that pay tribute to her legacy, especially those early roles that made so many people love her. Now, let's talk about Dennis Quaid, who played Nick Parker, Hallie's dad. Nick is the ultimate cool dad. He owns this beautiful vineyard in Napa Valley. He's charming and funny, and he clearly adores his daughter. Dennis Quaid had this incredible way of making Nick feel real and grounded, even as the story gets more and more outrageous. He's a single dad, doing his best, and you can see the love and patience he has with Hallie, even if she's not exactly easy to keep up with. Quaid brought so much warmth to this role, and he made you root for Nick the whole way through. His chemistry with Natasha Richardson, who plays Elizabeth, is electric. You can tell there's a deep connection between them, even after all those years apart. Quaid's career after The Parent Trap stayed solid. He's one of those actors who just kept working, bringing that same charm and depth to roles in movies like The Day After Tomorrow, The Rookie, and even recent projects like A Dog's Purpose. Outside of acting, he's also a musician, and his band, The Sharks, has been touring for years. Even today, he's still got that easygoing, down-to-earth vibe that makes him such a beloved figure in Hollywood. Then there's Natasha Richardson as Elizabeth James. Elizabeth is Annie's mother, a successful London-based fashion designer who exudes grace and elegance. Richardson brought this quiet strength to Elizabeth's character. She's classy and sophisticated, but there's also this deep vulnerability beneath her polished exterior. You can feel that she's still in love with Nick, even if she won't admit it. And her scenes with Annie are so heartfelt. She's the kind of mom who's both protective and supportive, giving her daughter the space to be herself while still keeping her close. Richardson's performance is so memorable that even today, fans remember her as one of the most beloved movie moms. Her passing in 2009 was a devastating loss, not only to her family, but to everyone who loved her work. She was known for roles in films like Made in Manhattan and The White Countess, and her legacy as a talented, compassionate actress lives on. In The Parent Trap, she brought such a sense of love and warmth that made Elizabeth a character we'll never forget. Now, let's switch gears and talk about Elaine Hendricks, who played Meredith Blake. Meredith! the character we all love to hate. Meredith is Nick's new, much younger fiancée, and she's not exactly thrilled about the idea of becoming a stepmom, especially not to a pair of very clever twins. Elaine Hendricks brought this perfect blend of sophistication and cunning to Meredith. She's polished, beautiful, and ambitious, but she's also hilariously transparent in her motives. She's not interested in Nick's heart, she's after his bank account. But somehow Hendricks made Meredith so entertaining to watch that you couldn't help but laugh at her attempts to win Nick over and push the girls out of the picture. Hendricks went on to have a successful career in both television and film, and in recent years she's gained a whole new fan base with her role on the reboot of Dynasty. What's even more fun is that she's embraced her role as Meredith in a humorous way, interacting with fans who remember her as the villain from The Parent Trap. Hendricks has this fantastic sense of humor about the role, and she's made it clear that she loves being part of such an iconic movie. But we can't talk about The Parent Trap without mentioning Chessie, Nick's housekeeper, played by Lisa Ann Walter. Chessie is the warm, witty heart of the California household. She's more than just a housekeeper, she's family, and she's got a bond with Hallie that's so genuine. Walter brought this down-to-earth, no-nonsense vibe to Chessie that made her instantly lovable. She's the first one to sense that Hallie isn't exactly herself when Annie takes her place, and that moment when she realizes the truth is so heartfelt. Chessie's reaction, full of emotion and excitement, is one of those iconic scenes that shows just how much these characters care about each other. After The Parent Trap, Lisa Ann Walter continued to have a strong career, especially in television. She recently gained new fans with her role on the hit show Abbott Elementary, proving once again that she has a knack for playing memorable, relatable characters. She's always had this grounded, real quality that shines through in every role, and fans who loved her as Chessie have been thrilled to see her back in the spotlight. Then there's Martin, the butler for Elizabeth's family, played by Simon Coons. Martin is the British counterpart to Chessie, and he's just as loyal and loving in his own way. Coons played Martin with this mix of proper British formality and a playful, almost mischievous side, especially when he's helping Annie and Hallie with their schemes. The chemistry between Martin and Chessie is one of the movie's unexpected delights, giving us that adorable romance subplot that adds another layer of fun to the story. Watching Martin transform from a reserved butler to a dance-loving, adventurous partner for Chessie is such a joy. Simon Coons has continued to work steadily in British television and film with roles in projects like Four Weddings and A Funeral and Sherlock. His performance as Martin remains one of his most beloved roles, especially for fans who remember him as part of the Parent Trap's iconic cast. The brilliance of The Parent Trap is that each character feels fully realized and essential to the story. The movie is funny, warm, and surprisingly deep, touching on themes of family, identity, and second chances. Hallie and Annie's bond is the heart of the film, but it's the love and care of the entire cast that makes the movie so memorable. And even years later, as we revisit this classic, it's clear that the magic hasn't faded. For so many of us, The Parent Trap isn't just a movie, it's a cherished memory. One that reminds us of family, love, and the beautiful chaos that comes with it. Here at Famous Faces, we're all about bringing you closer to the stars that made history. Share your thoughts in the comments, and let us know who you'd like to see featured next. See you in the next video. Bye!